Wait.
I've experienced quite a few autistic pupils over the years that I've been teaching, but the most memorable is this one that I'm going to cite the example. This particular boy.
Wait, stop. So
Actually,
I ask you, what are the characteristics of students with autism in your experience?
In my experience, they are socially awkward. They are unable to interact with one another, and they are very unfocused. They don't pay attention to what you say. They be doing their own stuff, but at the back of their head they are in fact listening, but there is no eye contact with anyone. Whenever I'm teaching, I don't see him looking at me or anyone or his classmates. He's just on his own, in his own world.
Do they get along with your friends?
He doesn't get along with his friends, and his friends will find him really very distracting, because he will be doing his own stuff, and to them this is not the right behavior in class. So they will be trying to like complain to me why so and so is not behaving, and then I'm not doing anything about it, when in fact I already know about his situation. Therefore I leave him in peace for the time being.
So what are some experiences, like some incidents that you experience with these autistic children with autism?
Yeah, another example would be that while I'm teaching, this particular boy, another boy, he will just be, his interest is in art. He'll just be drawing on little pieces of paper. You know, and same thing again, he doesn't pay attention. And then there was another situation where he doesn't like mother tongue. You know, Chinese is a Chinese. So he doesn't like this particular lesson or the teacher. I do not know yet.
Okay. What are some of your experiences?
Right.
What are some of your experiences with these autistic kids?
The most obvious experience about the autistic kids, they all, in the same way, are very unfocused. In any lesson or in any classroom activity, they are very unfocused. They do not pay attention to what you say or what you do. They will be in their own world, doing their own thing. They do not even look up at you. They don't have any eye contact with the teacher. They're just doing their own thing at a table, and they don't pay attention. And another occasion that what I see is that they are very unsociable. Even a person sitting next to them, they just don't even look at the person. And another thing is that they are easily upset by changes that happen in the classroom. If you were just to shift this person around to another sitting position, this person will be very stressful, such that I learned from my many years that all the autistic pupils should not be rescheduled to do something that they are not used to. So they cannot do things which they are not familiar with. That will give them a great deal of difficulty. So they have to do something that is very specific. You must tell them repeatedly, or else they get very chaotic. They are at a loss.
Okay. So when you know that you're going to teach autistic children with autism, were you sent for some training to inform you of ways to handle students with special needs, or were you not sent for any training?
Actually, I was not sent for training. According to the management in the school, they say that I'm a very experienced teacher, therefore they believe that I could handle. But I have my reservations also, like I feel that I'm also lacking in how to manage. But I went to ask the special needs officer in the school. I spoke to the counsellor. I also spoke to the pupils' parents, and they gave me a write-up about this boy, which they have referred to psychologists about his problem. So if one parent even gave me some of the strategies that I must follow with that child. So I follow strictly to that, and also with the school the school council team, that now and then if I have any problem with this autistic kid, I will go to them, or they will come over, and then they will advise me, sort of referral.
Is that a school counsellor or?
No, this is a special needs officer in the school, who I work hand in hand with. She will tell me a few strategies that I need to carry out.
What about new teachers? If they are not trained, what do you think they should do?
I think if they are not trained, there should be a particular kind of a course, like awareness. Because nowadays, I think there's an increase in number of autistic kids. So for new teachers, there must be an awareness workshop that, that can be useful to help them to how to deal with such a pupil if in the event they get one.
Okay, so what are some suggestions if we have a student with autism in our class? What should we look out for? How can we identify that they might have autism? Or if we already know that they have autism, what should we do?
I think if you
the basic things.
Yeah, if you come across a pupil that is very quiet, but at the same time don't socialize with others, and is very unfocused, these are likely symptoms that will be autistic. So what you're going to do is you have to learn more about the kid to reassure you that is your guess about these people about having this symptom of being autistic is true or not.
So like calling parents, right?
Yeah, actually when I had this autistic kid, what I do first was that after I was told, after I look at him and then he has this symptom, so in order to justify my assessment of the child, I call up the parent, and the parent admitted to the child being autistic. So as a new teacher, if you suspect the pupil is an autistic, the best thing to do is to ask the parents, because they would know. And there will be a psychological report about the boy, and then how often has he been given some kind of treatment, counseling, something like that. So what is the next step that you should do as a teacher? What do you have to look out for? What are the areas you have to look out for to make the boy to make him calm, so that he's very we can handle him, at the same time he can fit into the class. Because the other kids are normal, they will find it that this child is very odd, very strange. So at the same time, we also need to educate the pupil, the other pupils, why this child is behaving in such a way, why this child is different. We need to educate the other pupils in the class, so that they will not isolate him, or will laugh at him, or even in that sense bully him, because he's just very quiet,
and a bit
different from the others, and then so the other kids can learn.
Okay, so I ask you another question. If you get a student who is different, whether he's autistic or not, is it automatic for you to is there a culture where in Singapore schools you must make them the inclusion in the environment? Like, do you pay special attention to him, or is there differentiated instruction, or should he be treated extra special or the same, or are we supposed to integrate them? Or what if you cannot treat them differently, right? So you must integrate them, right? So I
think if that you need to handle this kind of special kids in the class who is different from the others, you need to firstly educate the peers, so that In that way, it will help you. You don't do it alone. You also talk to the other teachers teaching these people. You know, like how best to solve this problem, how best to help this child who is very quiet at one end, who might require help but doesn't express. So what we can do is that, for me, this child talks to me, hold my hand sometimes to explain what he wants, because he trusts in me, because I will always call on him and go to him. You know, when I'm walking around, I will go to him and ask him, what is he doing? Is this the right thing you're doing? Should you be doing your work? And then he will realize it. Oh,
so you try to reason with
yeah,
him.
reason with him very nicely. Doesn't you don't really, you know, make him angry. You don't reprimand him, but you tell him nicely that what he's doing is not the right way. And what I do is that we have this special day-to-day kind of schedule. Steps that target that he need to meet. So I will tell him today that I will expect him to be a little bit better than yesterday by doing the work, finish on time, and he's not to be distracted. So slowly he will, you know, he wants to see some kind of point system. So if he gets 3 points for that day, he will be very happy. So if I were just to remove 1 point from him, he will be very upset. So I will tell him that I'm not going to remove it if you improve. So in that sense, he learned to, you know, adapt to me. You know, that he wants to meet the target. He wants to be the best. So although he's unfocused, he can complete his work if given the encouragement.
He understands the rules.
Yeah, he understands the rules. Yeah, so he knows that, you know, for each day there are 3 points for him. He must, he must complete his work on time. He's not to walk about the whole class, and he must come to me if he needs help.
Is it very difficult to put these rules in place, or is it something that the parents taught him, or is it something that you started in class?
No, actually this one I work in collaboration with the SNO. So for this particular child, it was decided what was his problem was that he is unfocused, he cannot finish his work on time, and he likes to walk around.
So you identify the problem,
and with discussion with the SNO, so we set up these 3 little things. It cannot be too many, just these 3 few things. That is the major thing that we want him to do for maybe 1 semester. Okay.
So usually these students that's under you, usually is it 1 year, or you see them for 2 years, or what? So what they
the minimum is 1 year. Minimum 1 year. Some years I will be taking them for 2 years.
Then when they move on to another teacher, does it work with other teachers, or other teachers find it difficult also?
Yeah, other teachers will find it difficult because he's a new student and he has got a very different from the others. So what that teacher will come, and he needs time to adapt to the new teacher. It's always the adaptation part that makes the autistic kid a bit difficult for them. So the transition has to be smooth, in the sense that for me, the other teacher, both of us talk about this child and what is the best thing to do with him.
Okay.
Don't show my face.